Donna shared her living space with her husband, Walter, a man who had grown increasingly domineering over the years despite contributing little financially. Walter, who stayed home under the guise of managing the household, often flaunted his position as though it were a crown. Donna, meanwhile, worked tirelessly to support them both, believing that their arrangement would create balance and stability. Instead, it only fed Walter's ego and slowly eroded Donna's spirit. At first, Donna dismissed his demands as quirks of a man adjusting to their unconventional roles. But as time passed, Walter's behavior became more than domineering, it became suffocating. He treated Donna not as an equal partner, but as someone inferior, undeserving of appreciation. The irony was crushing, the very roof over their heads belonged to Donna. Yet Walter acted like a king ruling his castle. The breaking point came on an ordinary afternoon. Walter stood in the living room, arms crossed and a smug expression plastered across his face. "I've decided something," he announced, as if his word alone carried weight. "My parents will move in with us. You'll just have to adapt, or better yet, you can go stay with them at their house." Donna froze, stunned by his audacity. "Excuse me, this is my house." But Walter dismissed her objection with a wave of his hand, as though her ownership and opinion were trivial. The certainty in his voice chilled her. He wasn't asking, he was declaring, reshaping her life without a hint of respect. It wasn't the first time he'd treated her this way. Donna remembered another night when, exhausted from work, she had dropped her bag by the door only to be met with Walter's demand, "Go get me some ice cream." He was sprawled comfortably on the couch, watching television, without a thought for her fatigue. "You could get it yourself," Donna had suggested gently. But Walter only laughed, his tone dark. "Careful, upsetting me might not end well for you." The words echoed in her memory like a threat. Every act of defiance was met with disdain, every attempt at compromise twisted into weakness. It wasn't just irritating, it was draining, a slow erosion of her identity. One evening, drained after a long shift, Donna attempted to retreat to her room for rest. Walter blocked her path, his eyes narrowed. "What's with that attitude toward your husband? Do you think I won't throw you out right now?" His voice cracked like a whip. Donna forced a smile, her voice low. "I'm sorry, I'm just exhausted. Please, understand." Walter shook his head and muttered, "You're such a disappointment as a wife." The sting of his words lingered long after she closed the bedroom door behind her. Not long after, her body began to give out. A relentless fever overtook her, the doctor later calling it stress-induced. She lay in bed, drenched in sweat, barely able to move, hoping for a trace of compassion. Donna told Walter about her condition. His response was brutal. "A cold? That's just an excuse. Stop being useless, go to work." She stared at him in disbelief, her fever spiking at the cruelty of his words. He added coldly, "I won't be taking care of you. This is your problem, not mine." That night, weak and alone, Donna shivered under damp sheets, her thoughts drifting to dangerous places. She imagined a world where she no longer had to suffer his contempt, where silence and peace replaced constant criticism. Tears slipped down her cheeks as she realized how lonely she truly was in her marriage. After several days, her fever broke. She dragged herself back to work, still pale and recovering, and was immediately met with genuine concern from her colleagues. "Are you sure you're ready to be back?" one asked kindly. Their compassion nearly broke her. The contrast was staggering. Strangers showed her more care than her own husband. It was then that a voice inside her grew louder. "This can't go on. Something has to change." But change didn't come from Walter. It came when he revealed his next scheme. One evening, he sat Donna down with an unusual seriousness. She braced herself. "I've decided," he declared. "My parents will live here. You can't even cook, so there's no use for you. You'll leave instead." Donna's mouth went dry. "What did you just say?" He continued casually, as though discussing the weather. "I'll transfer this house into my name, then we'll divorce, and I'll live here with my parents. It's final." Her pulse quickened. The arrogance, the entitlement, it was beyond reason. He wasn't just disrespecting her, he was erasing her, piece by piece. Walter smirked, mistaking her stunned silence for heartbreak. "You love me so much, don't you? But I'm sorry, I just want to take care of my family. Please understand." His voice was mockingly gentle, the way one might scold a child. But Walter couldn't have been more wrong. Whatever love Donna once had was long gone, replaced with hollow emptiness and sharp regret. "Fine then, I'll leave," Donna said suddenly, her voice firm. Walter's eyes widened. What? You'll really leave? He hadn't expected resistance. For years, Donna had yielded, apologized, endured, but now, she was done. She packed a small bag with essentials, ignoring Walter's stunned protests. At the doorway, he tried again, desperation creeping into his tone. If you walk out now, we're strangers forever. Donna smiled faintly, a lightness in her chest she hadn't felt in years. I already stopped loving you a long time ago. Walking away feels like freedom. She turned and left, leaving Walter frozen in disbelief. His face, once smug and domineering, was now etched with panic and confusion. When Donna arrived at her parents' house, she told them everything. Rage flickered in their eyes, but beneath it was relief. Their daughter had finally broken free. And for the first time in years, so had she. I began to recover slowly at my parents' home, leaning on their quiet support as I tried to gather the pieces of myself that Walter had scattered over the years. For the first time in what felt like forever, I could breathe without walking on eggshells. No harsh words, no cold stares, just the gentle rhythm of family life and the comforting silence of a house where I was truly welcome. As soon as I had the strength, I initiated the divorce proceedings. It was not easy. I hesitated over the forms, my hand trembling as I filled them out, the weight of years pressing down on me, but I knew this was the only way forward. Once I sent the papers, a message from Walter arrived on my phone. Are you sure about this? I don't know if it's really a good thing, but I don't have any feelings for you anymore. If we've gone this far, there's no turning back. He ended his message with a startling request. I feel so much better now that you're gone, so fill out the divorce papers quickly. The gall of his words stung me, but they also clarified something. Walter had never truly wanted me, only the control he held over me. His sense of relief came not from separation but from discarding responsibility. I replied curtly, but he never wrote back. Days later, an envelope arrived containing the divorce documents, with Walter's portions already completed. I stared at his signature for a long time, marveling at how easily he had signed away our years together, as though they were nothing. With a deep breath, I completed my part and submitted everything to the county office. Just like that, it was official. Walter and I were no longer husband and wife. The division of assets followed. Walter, stubborn and proud, insisted on keeping the house. I handed it over willingly. To me, that house was nothing more than a shell, a place that held echoes of fights, tears, and loneliness. It had never been a home. Instead, I pursued alimony. Since Walter was unemployed, his parents shouldered the payments, though reluctantly. Walter himself claimed he was job hunting, talking big about soon repaying them once he landed work. I doubted his words. A month passed. By then, I had moved into a small but cozy apartment of my own. It wasn't lavish, but it was mine. For the first time in years, I decorated a space according to my taste: soft curtains, potted plants by the window, framed photos of friends and family. Every corner radiated peace, and I found comfort in knowing no one could take that from me. Then, one evening, my phone rang. The caller ID displayed Walter's name. My stomach tightened. I considered ignoring it, but experience had taught me that avoiding Walter only delayed the inevitable. If I didn't answer now, he would find another way to intrude. With a steadying breath, I picked up. "Hello," I said firmly. "What do you want?" His voice trembled. "Desperate. Please, help me." For a moment, I was stunned. Walter, the same man who once belittled me when I was sick, the same man who demanded obedience as though it were his birthright, was now pleading. The irony made me chuckle bitterly. "What's going on? Tell me everything," I replied, half expecting the story I was about to hear. He hesitated, stumbling over his words like a child caught in a lie. Finally, he confessed. After the divorce, he had taken over the house, confident he could manage, but he soon discovered the crushing weight of reality. The monthly rent was $2,500, far beyond what his unemployed self could handle. His parents, living on a modest pension, had initially tried to help but quickly realized they were sinking into debt. "They're furious with me," Walter admitted, his voice strained. "They said I tricked them. I didn't think it would be this much. Now I'm stuck." I closed my eyes, shaking my head. It was so like Walter, leaping into responsibility without understanding it, then blaming others when he failed. "So what exactly do you want from me?" I asked flatly. His answer was pitiful. "Please, just cover the rent for 1 month. I don't have anyone else to turn to." "You still care about me, don't you? If someone you care about is in trouble, You should help them out. The audacity made my jaw tighten. He still thought he could tug on old strings, appeal to a love that no longer existed. I'm sorry, I said coldly. I have no obligation to help you. You were the one who cut me off, remember? And now you want me to save you? That's not fair. Walter's voice broke, defensive yet pleading. Don't be so cold. I can't handle this alone. We were married once. Doesn't that mean anything? Can't you help me just this once? No, Walter, I replied, my tone firm. You were the one who discarded me, and even before the divorce, I had already stopped loving you. It's been a long time since you meant anything to me in that way. There was silence, then his whisper, I can't believe it. His disbelief struck something inside me, memories of my illness, of him dismissing my suffering, of the countless nights I cried alone, all came flooding back. I had worked so hard to preserve our marriage, to hold us together, only to be treated like a burden, and now, faced with his own downfall, Walter acted as though I owed him compassion. Then, with one final, desperate bid, he said, please, let's get married again. We can start over. I promise I'll do better this time. I'll never push you away again. The suggestion was so absurd, so utterly detached from reality, that I let out a bitter laugh through my tears. Are you kidding me? Do you think a few words can erase years of neglect? Do you think I'd ever return to that life? Walter, I would rather live alone forever than go back to being your wife. That chapter is closed. It's never going to happen. Overwhelmed with emotion, I ended the call. His silence lingered even after I pressed end. Without hesitation, I blocked his number. Through mutual acquaintances, I later heard the aftermath. Walter and his parents were evicted after missing payments. His parents, furious at him for dragging them into this mess, sold their modest home and moved into a cramped apartment with Walter, who had only managed to find part-time work. The man who once declared himself the head of the house was now reduced to relying on others for scraps. Meanwhile, I focused on rebuilding. My career flourished, I was entrusted with bigger projects at work, and whispers of a managerial promotion began circulating. For the first time, colleagues and juniors alike looked up to me with admiration. Friends occasionally asked if I would remarry someday. I usually smiled and shook my head. Not right now, I would answer truthfully. After my experiences, marriage felt like a risk I wasn't ready to take again. And honestly, I was happy alone. Many people now lived full lives without ever marrying, and I had no reason to rush. What mattered most was that I was free to live without regret, free to pursue joy on my own terms, and free to finally value myself. For the first time in a long time, I was truly at peace.